You are listening to the East Texas Banner at easttexasbanner.com. Got the privilege this morning of sitting down with Jasper Sheriff Chuck Havard. Sheriff Havard, I really appreciate you taking time to sit down with us and kind of give us a little bit of an update about what's going on here in Jasper County. Obviously, big news right now is you guys just hired a public information officer. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, we've been very fortunate. Commissioner's Court and County Judge has been very, very fortunate with us as far as helping us bring in some professional people. So House Bill 33 requires any law enforcement agency now in Texas to have a PIO. So several months ago, I started recruiting Miss Taylor Justice. Taylor come off of KFDM on Channel 6, and so we are very pleased to have her. But it's very important to understand, to know, for the people to know that, listen, I'm still available 24/7. I'm still going to be the primary person as far as getting the news out. But she's going to help us, and has been a tremendous help since we've been in office. Since she's been here, it's very cumbersome on the social media. We try to do a lot of work here, and so to put it out, it takes a lot of time. And I ran that page myself for 15 months. And so we're very fortunate to have her. She's going to represent the people of this county very professionally, does a fantastic job, a lot better job than I do. And so we're glad she's here, and we're looking forward to getting her through the academy. And she's going to be a PIO plus deputy sheriff. And so we're really looking forward to her completing her academy. And she's going to represent this county and our office very, very well. One of the best hires we've made so far.
No doubt. So there's a lot that's been going on. There's a lot of, you guys are pushing so much volume. From a standpoint, and I say volume, from a standpoint of really, you're all over the place. I'm down in Buena the other day after the Red Bow Festival. I'm seeing sheriffs. I'm seeing the sheriff represented down there. I'm seeing, up around Rayburn. You guys it seems like you guys are really, you're way more visible, it seems like. And, that's been one of the responses from the people that I've heard, is that, they appreciate the visibility.
Yes, sir. Well, I think people are tired of electing, in this case, local officials. I think they get tired of electing them, and they just, they do their job for a little bit and they just kind of die off. And I don't want to do that. I want people to think, Chuck Havard in the sheriff's office, we get our money out of them every day.
Right.
And, he gets there early, he stays late, and tell people this all the time. I get most of the credit, but most of it is very unwarranted. It's our people that are out doing the job. We have kind of, since I've been here in 15 months, we've kind of rebuilt the sheriff's office, and I've ran on the campaign of increasing our professionalism, increasing the credibility of the sheriff's office, and I'm proud of the people we have here, the ones we've brought in. There's still a little of experience, and we're by far from perfect, but this sheriff's office is getting really, really good each week. It's getting really good. Our response times are getting cut down. I feel like our professionalism has increased. We've got really good people. And I'm very happy, very happy. Right now, we have more boots on the ground in any time in the history of this county. And
Sure.
And our people out doing the job. They're doing their job. They're putting the needs of the public over themselves. And that's one of the things I can be very demanding, and probably too demanding at times. But they're out doing the job.
Yeah.
And they're all over this place. And that's what I want. What they want. We want our deputies in our neighborhoods, schools, businesses, and so I'm very, very proud of the work our men and women are doing. They're doing a good job.
So give us a little bit of an update, because, narcotics seems to be an ongoing issue in East Texas.
Yes, sir.
Give us kind of an update as to the approach, maybe not the play-by-play, but the approach that you guys are taking with narcotics in Jasper County.
So back here in our jail, we have 126 in here today. 6 out of 10 back there is meth. And so our approach is very simple. If you have meth, I don't care if it's a lot, a little bit, you're going to get arrested. You're going to get filed on for the highest charge we can file on you, and we're going to put you in jail. Once we get you here and get you in this jail, we will do everything we can with the limited resources and funding that we have. But we are doing everything we possibly can to get these men and women back here some help with substance abuse, mental health.
Sure.
And so we put them in jail, but we try to work with them, with all the available resources we have. Spindletop does us a great job. And so we try to work on the dependency, the addiction part of it, because we don't want them back there. The public don't want them back there. They want them out here being productive and doing good things for their life. But on the same hand, you can't have them out stealing cars and hurting people and taking your tractors, taking your weed eaters. And so it's important that they know that if they're users, dealers, if we catch you, zero tolerance, you're going to jail. We're going to file on you. We're going to get you in court and try to get you prosecuted, but we're also going to try to help you. Meth is a terrible, terrible drug that's almost impossible to get off of. And so it's harming our kids, harming our community, and hey, we're going to stay after them. I don't care. We're going to stay after them. We've got a lot of these people that's selling it. They're on the move right now, and we're going to keep a steady hand at them. We're going to keep a lot of pressure on them. I promise you.
Does it seem like that's the biggest bulk of what you guys are fighting?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, meth is fairly cheap, and so it's we call it the devil's drug for a reason. Apparently, it's almost impossible to get off of.
Sure.
It'll take a normal person and turn them into a zombie in just a short time. And so, but like I said, we're gonna keep a lot of pressure on the meth.
10-4. So I know the last time we spoke, we were looking for the missing person down in Kirbyville.
Yes, sir.
Any updates on that currently?
Well, I can tell you that case, and there's several other cases that we're working on, just so we don't publicize what we're doing. All of these cases that are unsolved, and there's a few of them, they're all important. Every family needs some answers. And so the case of Josh Larkin, we are working tirelessly to try to locate his body and to bring these people to justice. We have 4 people we've arrested between ourselves and the Newton County Sheriff's Office. There's not a day goes by we're not working on that case. Not a day goes by between our office and the Newton County Sheriff's Office. And so all these cases are important. We want answers as bad as the family.
Sure.
And so we're going to do everything we can and work really hard and be very determined to try to figure out exactly what happened.
So tell me this, I know that there's kind of circling back a little bit back to some of what you guys are doing as far as disseminating information out to the public. You guys currently have an app?
Yes, sir. We have an app, and our app, a lot of good information on the app, sex offender, jail information. Every arrest or every person that's brought to the Jasper County Jail, whether it's we arrest, DPS arrest, City of Kirbyville arrest, Jasper PD, they're all on the app. Our sheriff's office, our policy is that if the sheriff's office arrests you for a felony, any serious misdemeanor, or anything that I think the public needs to know about, we disseminate that information out to the public on our social media site. And it is important. There's a disclaimer that these people are innocent unless they're proven guilty in a court of law. But there's a difference between arrest based on probable cause and a conviction. That's not a place that we have court. That's just simply letting the people know in this county what we're doing.
Right.
Taxpayers pay me. Every employee we have here, we work for the taxpayers, and so they need to know what we're doing. And so we push the information out there. Whether it's good things we do, and occasionally we do stump our toe. Thank God we don't do it much, but if it's things that we didn't do well, we put that out there too. It's important that you put everything out there. And so I ran on transparency and giving the public information. And so we're going to continue to do that.
Right.
I think the public think they appreciate it. By the vast majority of it appreciates it. And like I said, we've got a lot of good feedback. People like staying informed, and we're going to keep doing that.
Considering this is the first time we've actually had a sit-down interview since you took office.
Yes, sir.
What would you say is one of the things that maybe not underestimated, but maybe didn't realize about the position? Maybe, I don't know, the volume of work or the I don't know. I don't know what would be the thing that
Yes,
you
sir.
would look at and you would go, this kind of caught me off guard a little bit.
Right. Well, I can tell you this sheriff's office, along with every other sheriff's office, I've learned there's lots of moving parts, a lot of moving parts. When I was DPS, we bring somebody, place them in jail. Well, we give them to the sheriff. Well, all that's good until you use the sheriff. And so our capacity here is 144. Since I've been here, we put 162 in here before. I mean, we filled it up a bunch. But there's a lot of moving parts to the sheriff's office, and so I would say the jail has been a good learning experience. I've learned a lot. I stay very engaged in that jail. I know most of the inmates back there. I try to go back there a couple times a day. We have good people, first of all, running it, but people understand when you have 162 at times.
Sure.
You know that's like a small city back there. You know, our employees are their mothers, their daddies. You know, they're caretakers, they're doctors, they're lawyers. They wear many, many hats back there. And so, you know, you have to keep them safe. You have to make sure they have their medication. You know, our budget on our meal, you know, we need more money as far as our meals. And the Commissioner's Court has always took good care of us. But at the end of the day, we have to do the best we can with what we have.
Right.
And so, you know, we try to give them, despite what you see on Facebook, it's not the Havard Hilton. I mean, at the end of the day, they're in jail.
Right.
And so they eat
They're
a lot
not
of
getting
beans.
steak dinners
No,
at
they ain't
the
getting steak dinners. We do try to do really good on holidays.
Sure.
And try to help them a little bit. But that jail, it's a lot of moving parts back there, you know, and it's a lot of responsibility. And I take that very, very seriously. That's where the majority of our, if we have any litigation, civil lawsuits, that's where the majority of them come from. So it's important that we run a tight ship back there where it's something clean, something safe, something efficient. And so that jail has been not overwhelming, but I've learned a lot. But I've stayed back there and engaged
I think
that part of the job.
I think it's easy for people to just pass by here and forget that exists, unless you actually seen the inside of it.
You know, the people that come in here, you know, I always encourage the public to come in and see what we've done back there.
Sure.
You know, we've give this whole facility a facelift on the outside, on the inside. And so when members of the public show up, it's important to me for a couple of reasons. I want them back there in the jail. A, because this is their building. And B, I want them to see the work that we've done and the work that our men and women do back there. And so we've got everything repainted. Everything looks nice. We do have some paint we're trying to test on our dormitories, make it look a little better. But it's a lot to that jail, But I would encourage anybody to come back there and look at the work our men and women, you know, are doing.
No doubt.
But it's been good. It's been good.
Is there anything that you want to put out to the public? I mean, I know you guys, you know, y'all have the sheriff's Facebook page has no rival at this point, far as getting information out to the public.
Yes,
but is there any kind of message you want to send out to the people?
Yeah. The main thing is that you know, I want the public to know how much we appreciate them, how much I personally appreciate the things that their support of this office, their support of me, the support of our employees. Lots of people, you can bring in the best investigators, have the best DNA technology, whatever. But the public, most of the time, the public is the ones that's out here helping us crack these cases and catching the bad guys. And so I appreciate the engagement of our community.
Sure.
They are constantly helping us. The other day, we put out a theft. Within 3 minutes, I had a phone call. Okay, the truck you're looking for is on this particular road. And sure enough, that's where it was. Just backed it in there, went in there, went to sleep. Still had all the stolen property on the trailer. Didn't even too lazy to unload it. And so they have helped us solve many, many cases.
Sure.
And so I appreciate their support, you know, and in return, you know, I tell people all the time, our citizens in Jasper County are the best. And so they need the best law enforcement representing them. And so that's what we're really trying to give them the very, very best that this state has to offer. Because that's important to represent this county and our citizens with class, because they're the best. And so we want to give them the best.
So if anybody sees anything out there and they need to report it to you guys, what's the best way to do it?
Pick up cell phone, call me, call 911 or call our office. Whatever you think it is. Nothing is too small.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that I try to do, I don't take any information as big or small. You know, I take everything and let us look into it. You know, we've done a lot of work based upon somebody's gut feeling or somebody's suspicious. And
the majority of the things that's going on that's illegal, they're not waiting until cops show up.
Oh, no.
They're not waiting until the sheriff's office shows up.
No, it's the public. Public are our eyes and our ears.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, they do a marvelous job
Yeah.
at supporting us and giving us the information that we need to get out here and get these these bad guys put in jail and get them to court. And so,
Sheriff Havard, I really appreciate you, man. I appreciate you sitting down with
No,
us,
I
just
appreciate it.
chatting
Yes,
with
sir.
us for a few minutes.
yes, sir. I appreciate you guys, and I want to thank you personally and your staff. They have been really good to us and very cooperative when getting the information disseminated to the public. Something we need out fast.
No
So
doubt.
I appreciate you and your staff as well.
Thanks again.